Legalizing marijuana, wow. What a great idea in the 60s and 70s. At least that's what I would have thought. We didn't think there was any harm in smoking marijuana. We just thought we could smoke dope and not work and just hang out, and somehow the world would change and it would be a better place because of it. Boy, were we in for a surprise, particularly those of us that ended up being alcoholics and addicts, and myself being in recovery. It's easy to be in recovery and think, well, maybe I could just smoke a joint and I'll be okay. I won't be drinking, or in my case, I was addicted to painkillers. But guess what? Marijuana is a gateway drug, and it does take people to their drug of choice, or for young people, it takes them to a place where they have a much greater chance of doing harder drugs. Proposition 19, California. Wow, there's a lot of good stuff about that. I mean, I'd love to see the American government have its own cartel to compete with the Mexican cartel. We don't have the funding to stop the Mexican cartels, and they love to sell marijuana into the United States, and their biggest market is California. So wow, there's something that can happen. There's a problem between our two governments. And yeah, if we could sell marijuana that's being sold anyway and tax it, maybe that money can be used for recovery. Maybe that money could be used for education on what really works in recovery. Our number 12 foundation, we're out there trying to figure out, what's the best model for recovery? Where do we find the very best pieces, and how do you put them together to stop the huge epidemic of heroin, the huge epidemic of meth amongst our young kids, this tremendous amount of cocaine that's being brought into this country by the cartels? And there's not enough funding for it. And the funding that we do have really continues to fund things that don't work. 10% of our population suffers from this disease. It's a horrible disease. 95% of the people that have it go untreated. Only 5% make it and stay clean and sober over any long period of time. So, when I think of Proposition 19, I see the benefits. I mean, if the marijuana is going to be sold anyway, why shouldn't we be getting tax money? And why should we be funding the violence of the Mexican cartels? But I also worry about kids starting to smoke weed earlier because they've got greater accessibility to it. If it's legal, there's more of it on the street and kids are going to get it. It stops brain development. I mean, it doesn't stop it, but for young kids, it actually inhibits it. Maybe that's one of the problems that I have. I think I do. I'm getting all that short-term memory loss and everything now. I thought I'd escaped it, but boom, 50, it hit me pretty hard. So I've got young kids. Both their parents are in recovery. Genetically, they're predisposed to possibly becoming addicts and alcoholics. Do I want them to be able to have easier access to marijuana? Does California set the pace for the rest of the country? Is it going to happen in Ohio? I don't know. But the whole thing scares me. I don't know where it's going to go, how it's going to work. I don't think it's very well thought out. Maybe there's a way to do this that really provides something to taxpayers, that helps save lives, that helps lower addiction. I don't know. I don't know. It's a big question mark, and I'm not ready to be able to vote for it. Thankfully, I don't live in California.